Hi again, moms and dads. Today, Parental Alienation Survival Coach wants to talk to you about something called cognitive dissonance. Do you know what that is? Remember, I studied psychology in nursing school, and for many, many years, being caught up in my own nightmare of parental alienation, I have studied the leading psychological and family therapy experts, where I learned a little more, or I should say a lot more, and I continue to learn as the years go by. One of the things about parental alienation is the term, and that term is going to be probably continuing to change. And you'll hear things like family bond obstruction and pathogenic parenting. It's all of that. And remember, true parental alienation is severe, and it comes from an illness on the other side. And that illness results in a symptom display in children of them doing something that's very, very unnatural and not seen in a normal, healthy relationship with you. So when a child displays hatred, anger, rejection, and fear of you, you know something has happened on the other side. That is a truth. It's a true psychological construct. Unless there has been something severe neglect or severe abandonment or abuse on your side, then there's no other reason why the child should hate and fear you. So, what I want to talk about is cognitive dissonance. That's something that they feel when they are with you. The experience of a loving, caring, nurturing, good parent is getting all mixed up in their mind with what they've heard about you and what they continue to hear about you. Lies are told, little grains of truths are exaggerated into distortions. For example, maybe you take an antidepressant. That will be turned into your mother or your father is a psycho, and they have psychological problems. An antidepressant doesn't mean that. So, little grains of truth. Maybe you take a pain medication for a surgery you had. Oh, your mother, your father, they're addicted to drugs. Do you see those strong medications they take? So unfortunately, the child has to balance all that, and it's impossible. It's hard for adults to do. You're hearing one thing coming into your ears on one side, and on the other side with your eyes and your body and your whole being, you're feeling something totally different. The child is left in a situation where they have to decide, is my other parent lying to me? Nobody wants to think their parent is lying to them. So the child is stuck with these conflicting emotions. And, it's in some ways it's easier for them to just go along with what's being fed to them rather than try to fight it. Because what happens when they try to fight it on the other side is they are shamed and belittled. They're shamed and belittled for showing any affection or any love for you. So it's important that you understand this is what's happening to your child. It's not your fault. It is not their fault. They're just trying to survive in a crazy world, because otherwise, and maybe anyway, they are going to be going crazy with all of this. So it's very, very, very hard on a child. They love you, but they're afraid to show it, because their experience in trying to show it and trying to have some affection for you is to be smacked down, shamed, and belittled for having those feelings. A lot of times the word to use to shame them is, look at the mama's boy, look at the little mama's girl, or you just need that mommy coddling. In a good book written by two brothers who were alienated from their from their mom by their dad, called Don't Hug Your Mom. That's what they were told. When you see your mom, don't hug her. So they wrote a great book, and in the book, they were shamed for being mommy coddled if their mother tried to show love to them when the parents were still together. And often it happens in the marriage while you're still together. If you look back, you probably see signs of it, signs of the other parent shaming the child for loving you. And that's because that other parent is so insecure. They have such deep, deep wounds and deep feelings of inadequacy that they're afraid the child will love you more and therefore abandon them. And so this whole thing is set into motion of them trying to prevent themselves from being abandoned. And it's usually, if you're honest, it's not just about the children. If you look back, you probably can see signs that they were doing this even before you had children with them. So that's just an insight that I've learned along the way, again, from my studies in nursing school, from my continuing life studies, and from all of the great experts on parental alienation. You know, Dr. Childress, Dr. Baker, Linda Gottlieb, Dr. Kornbluth, Warshak, Bone, and many, many, many others. Dr. Ray. I've participated in interviews, and I've participated in studies that have been done. And sadly, so many parents are so confused. Just like I explained, the child is so confused. Us as parents are so confused. Many have turned to substance abuse, and many have turned to suicide. It's so sad. We in the awareness community, you know, it's been brought to our attention how many people have sadly taken their own lives because they've lost everything trying to fight for their children and being so bewildered and confused as to what's going on. So today we live in a great day of wonderful, wonderful support groups online, wonderful dissemination of information, a big awareness movement, and we're all looking forward to a day when it will be recognized for what it is, a severe form of child abuse. And as Dr. Childress says, when that day comes, you will be able to yank them out of the control of the other person for a time until the child gets healthy again and can understand how to relate to both parents and love both parents. And when that day comes, it will be seen as an emergency situation. And there's so much support right now for that day to come. So hang in there, moms and dads. I hope this has helped you to understand your child a little bit. And remember, you yourself need to stay strong and develop the coping skills to be happy and move forward in your life regardless this big open wound is happening. If you look at my video, Triggers number 2 and Open Wounds, you'll understand the metaphor of a big open wound that we all have to live with. So hang in there, moms and dads, and never give up. You're not